Good morning, East Leiden. We're back. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. The Eagle Updates are back, and I'm Dorothy Castillo.
And I'm Karina Mendron, bringing you the Eagle Update for March 7th and 8th. In this episode, our team field reports cover a number of topics.
Before we start, what kind of people would it be if we didn't tell you where we were at? Yeah, I know, we're better than your lovers. So for the moment of truth, BAM!
We were writing a research paper, not as interesting as you thought. But we wanted to give a huge shout out to all the seniors that were putting in that work for the past 2 months. East Leiden, your Eagle Update starts
now. Our first topic focuses on Young Hearts for Life, brought to you by Ethan and Soveda.
So this is why we do this in this age group. In other countries, this is part of their national health care. Italy, you do this every 2 years from the time you're 12.
Last week, Leiden held ECGs for students in the East Fieldhouse with the help of Young Hearts for Life, an organization made to provide students with free ECGs. ECGs are a painless, quick test to detect heart problems, to make sure students are safe and aware of any cardiac problems that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest.
So most doctors, unless it's specific or there's a concern, will not provide this test. It's only for students that have something has happened that makes them concerned. And so this is really an easy way to check if nothing has happened already. Because again, doctors don't usually give this assessment or this test unless something has happened. So we're able to give it to all students, regardless, even if they've never had any issues or any concerns with their heart, which is different than what a doctor would do.
With the help from Young Hearts for Life, 6 Leiden students were able to find out if they had a cardiac issue. The event, hosted in the Fieldhouse, held screenings for students to sign up. The event helps to aim students like the 6 from Leiden be aware of issues that can lead to sudden death.
So it's very, very easy. We don't take off any clothing. It's non-invasive. We don't take your blood. We don't have needles. We're not shaving your chest. We're not doing anything that would make you feel uncomfortable. The actual test itself takes about 30 seconds, and it can identify something that can truly save your life. The other thing is, too, there are heart conditions that are identified through EKG screening that also are hereditary and genetic. And so if you're identified with this, then your family, like your siblings, your parents, your cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, will all be genetically tested to see if they have this too, because this can also then be passed down to your kids. So it's a really important thing to give yourself that knowledge.
In the past year, a student at Leiden had passed away from an unknown cardiac event. With doing so, Leiden decided to partner up with Young Hearts for Life to try to prevent something like this to happen again to a student here at Leiden.
We had a student last year, unfortunately, that passed away unexpectedly, and so we started to have conversations with other schools and other districts about are there ways to kind of screen to make sure that we're able to pick up on some of these heart irregularities prior to something like this happening.
Young Hearts for Life's mission is to make sure students and athletes are made aware if they have a cardiac issue, so they and the Leiden trainers can prepare an action plan in case of an emergency.
We were founded in 2006, and in those years we have screened over 215,000 students in the western and southwestern suburbs, and we've identified more than 3,300 with previously undiagnosed heart conditions.
So I think the plan right now is we would do this every 2 years, so we would capture all the new students that are coming in. And so from there, some schools do it every 4 years, but next year we won't do it, we'll do it the following year to capture the new kids, and then we'll also screen kids that have already been screened that want to get screened again.
For the Eagle Update, this is Soveda Lamone signing off.
Our next topic focuses on Miss Smith retiring. This segment is brought to you by Owen and Peter.
I'll go to Australia for the tennis open. I want to go to the US Open in New York. I want to do kayak fishing. I want to travel. I want to spend lots of time with my grandkids. I want to write a memoir, maybe go to the recording studio.
English teacher Miss Linda Smith, who will be retiring, has a long list of things she knows will bring her happiness in the coming years. At the end of 33 years, she's also spending time reminiscing about her favorite parts of being a teacher.
Anytime I notice that a student is feeling emotional and they share what they're struggling with, and I make that personal connection, I feel successful in that way. Answering a question with meaning and insight and thoughtfulness. Seeing the light come on. When kids finally get something, that's one of my favorite parts.
Miss Smith, like any English teacher, has led students to answer typical questions like, how can we start this sentence? Or, what's the theme of this text? But the question that might make her most memorable for students is, what's awesome?
We used to do what's called What's Awesome Wednesday, which was probably my favorite day, where we used to gather as a group, and we basically talked about, in a specific format, how our week was so far. It's like a halfway through the week checkpoint.
While students were discussing what's awesome, Miss Smith would make sure the class knew of her awesome career and hobbies. In particular, her songwriting and her passion towards music.
So this is the song that made me want to play ukulele. I didn't know how to play, but I saw Gloria Vanderwall on America's Got Talent, and so I ordered a ukulele, and this is the first song I taught myself how to play. It's very short. Okay. I don't know my name. I don't play by the rules of the game, so you say.
While Miss Smith made time each week to have fun and ask students to share good things, she's also a teacher who expected kids to focus and stick with their work, just as she would.
The impact she left on me was probably, she gave me a good work ethic, I would say. She made us work hard a lot, even in days where we were not up to it. And when the content was particularly hard or took a long time for us to read or anything of the sort, she still pushed us on.
Plan, plan, plan. And then all you have to do is show up and execute. I would make sure every Friday I have everything planned so that on Monday when I show up, I'm able to just execute what I've put together. I would hope that I have led by how I live my life. I would hope that that something in the class is valuable to them moving forward. That's what I would hope.
With just a couple of months of serious planning left, Miss Smith is looking forward to a retirement without plans.
Feels like I'm graduating just like the seniors are, and the adventures are wide open, life is wide open.
For the Eagle Update, this is Alex Bahina signing off.
To find my way.
Women's Day is this Friday, and you better be treating your woman right, because after all, it is their month. This segment is brought to you by Owen and Zainab.
Women's Month, a month-long celebration that recognizes the many roles and achievements that women have made to get us where we are today, as well as International Women's Day that recognizes all the women around the world. We ask students and teachers what this month means to them.
Well, for me, I think it's an opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of people who maybe have been underrepresented in that celebration, like a lot of our months where we celebrate different identities. And I think that it's a time to raise awareness of just how important and integral women have been to our society.
It means a lot to me because it feels like I'm getting the recognition that I deserve, like that I don't get in my personal life. It's nice to see that there are people who care and that there are people who are putting in support for like the opportunities that I need and like the support in general.
I think that helps spotlight women who are striving, who are making a positive impact on others, and provide an inspiration for the rest of us.
Appreciating the women that I love and that I'm close to, appreciating all that they do for me.
You know, when people can take time to celebrate women and everything that we've done and how far we've come, should be year-round. But we do a lot, you know, to keep society going, so it's nice to be appreciated.
At one of the last schools where I worked, I had a principal who was a really amazing principal. Her name was Ms. Scott, and she did just like an amazing job of running the building. She was super kind. She was always had time for students and staff. She did a great job of helping systems come together and supporting the school community. So I'd say she is probably one of the people that I look up to.
There are so many of them. I hate to name names publicly. Ms. Gagliardi is a wonderful role model. well liked and a great teacher. Ms. Kaniva, I know well, and she's a great role model and helps students too. Off the top of my head, that's who I can think of.
I would say everyone here in the cafeteria, we work hard every day to make sure your lunch is healthy and everything is safe, so everyone here is amazing.
I think Miss Rosen and Miss Reed, they're the art teachers, and they do so much for us. They're always going beyond.
Miss Hepler, I think she's such an amazing teacher. She always teaches amazing values, and she's just always been there to support me, like as a student, and she's just one of a kind.
Our next topic is the Light and Theater program is performing a musical called The Music Man. They are performing on March 7th through the 9th at 7 p.m. at the West Leiden Auditorium. This segment is brought to you by Mia and Sophia.
Great.
My favorite part of the musical, literally every single time we run the show, we're kind of just like making jokes and like having fun in our costumes, and yeah, I'm gonna miss doing that. Yeah.
So this is my favorite musical, so seeing it all put together in the end is what's really magical.
Bonding with the theater community, people from like all sorts of backgrounds and stuff, you know, all the middle schoolers and high schools, that's like a big group that comes together. So
while the seniors reflected on moments they will always cherish, the underclassmen will always recall the memories they shared with them.
I'm kind of sad that this is the seniors' last shows here because they're all super nice and we all get along.
Because they're all really good and they're all super nice. They've all been really helpful.
I feel really sad about this being one of the seniors' last shows because the seniors are pretty cool, at least the ones I've talked to.
With mixed emotions, the seniors will perform one of their final high school musicals, leaving an amazing legacy behind them.
The fact that I kind of have to leave it just for college and to move on in life, it's a really big struggle for me.
Really bittersweet because I'm like not just leaving like the theater community, I'm also like leaving behind like my music teacher and the band teacher and all the other people that I've like become friends with. Like,
I'm proud of what we worked for. It's kind of bittersweet. I want to cherish every moment that I'm in high school and getting to put on this like big production with all my friends.
The seniors will have permanently ingrained their hearts into Leiden's theater community when they perform. The Music Man will be played on March 7th through 9th at 7 p.m. in the West Auditorium.
That's all the news we have time for today, Eagles. Remember to check your email for the bulletin board to see what's new for clubs, sports, tryouts, and other school events.
If you got any other ideas for future segments, send an email to Mr. Rossi. We look forward to telling your stories. For the Eagle Update, this is Karina Mendron.
And I'm Dorothy Castillo, signing off.